morning. It's like 8 a.m. on a Saturday. It's quite early. We have a new puppy. He keeps waking me up every 2 hours. This is the dog. So he woke me up at 6, and I figured, well, might as well stay up. Anyway, we have some people asking for a PINEGROVE type of tutorial, which is awesome. I love PINEGROVE. So we're pretty much going to take inspiration from AudioTree. It's like a live session they did back, 8 years ago? It's been a while. But it sounds identical to the regular music, their fully produced music. So we can look at that session, we can see the equipment they use, we can also check the clipboard, and we can recreate that in the DAW. So let's hop in the studio being my bedroom, and we'll work on a PINEGROVE type beat.
Okay, so we got the guitar tone. We got two guitar tones. This is the first one. It is just, a fat muff, a compressor. It's going into a 𝗕𝗘𝗖𝗢𝗠𝗘. We didn't have a hot rod, so a 𝗕𝗘𝗖𝗢𝗠, I guess, is close enough. And going into another compressor. And the second tone is the same sort of thing, but it's going through a Tweed Deluxe. It's going through a chorus. It's going through a compressor and some reverb. And then this compressor here. I also set up this room reverb. It's Sound City Studios, as always. We've got the M160 on the close, the 54 on the room, and the 84 on the room 2. And we are set to the 2x12 live. I had some low end roll off here, but yeah, we're going to set this to 77 BPM, and we should be good to start. Cool, so I pretty much just turned down the gain and I turned up the volume. I wanted a little less gain. All right, now starting on the first chorus, I'm going to come in with the second guitar. It's going to play like some sort of high lead line, I think. So now I want some more gain on this. That is quite a lot, though. I'm going to change the fat muff, and I'm going to throw on an overdrive, something light like this. Yeah. So in the chorus, I'm just going to play like some open chord. And by open chord, like it's the root note. Play the root note. You can play the root note over any chord in the key, and it'll sound good, more or less, except for like the 7th. Now, I'm going to want some more reverb on this. Maybe some more room verb too. Now I just want to take out some harsh frequencies. Cool, let's add some reverb now to this main guitar. The reverb I'm using, by the way, is just Valhalla Vintage Verb. I'm gonna throw a bus compressor on both these guitars. Gonna head into this one guitar and throw some EQ on there. Cool. Let's throw some saturation on there, some tape saturation. Cool. All right, we'll start on some drums now. I'm going to open up Superior Drummer. Now, I think the core library should be pretty good for something like this. It's pretty good. Maybe just not this kick. I just want some more width, some more ambience in there. But that should help with the room. Now I could make a stem with Sound City Studios on it and make it another room, but I'm just gonna throw Sound City Studios on the layer instead because I just want a drum room. I'm gonna switch it to reverb. Now I want to get the sound right before we mix it with dry wet. Yeah, cool. That sounds pretty good. It's going to want compression on it as well. Let's throw a 76 on there. Pretty good. I'm going to add a little more room. Yeah, let's try that. So now I just want to throw on some saturation. In fact, I might actually throw this into 7.5 IPs. I want some bass now, so let's go into Kontakt. Now, ideally, you have a proper bass. I unfortunately do not have one here. It is at the studio, so that sucks. So we're gonna have to do VST bass. All right, so we got our part here. I am gonna have to take some time and make sure it sounds good. It's really hard to make DI bass sound great, especially on a song like this. So I don't need to humanize because I played it on a piano. I might randomize a little bit though. I'm gonna throw everything to sub and add a little bit more saturation on it. I want to throw it through a Saturn instance. Pretty good. I'm going to throw a bus compressor on there. All right, I want this kick to be a little more thumpy and warm. So I'm going to solo the kicks, solo the drums. Going to throw an EQ on here. Same thing on the in. Yeah, and then some transient stuff. Take the kick down, sustain up. Too much. I'm gonna go to our overhead, or to our ambience mics, and lower the kick. There we go. Now it's more focused. That's better. All right, that's pretty much it. It's quite simple. It's just two guitars, some bass, and some drums. I wish the bass was real. It's kind of unfortunate the bass won't sound very good if it's not a real bass. I'm sure you could make it sound more real than this, but you'd need to do, I don't know, hours of MIDI editing. So it's unfortunate, but it doesn't sound bad. General kind of takeaway points. A, it's got to sound like it's a live session. It's got to sound like it's recorded in the same room all at once, like live off the floor. The drums, I think it's important that they stay airy, they stay roomy. Like, this is quite a lot of room going on. It's not a very focused it's not a very focused snare, which is a good thing. You can hear the snare more in the overheads. The guitars, warm, kind of chunky, but driven. It is kind of hard to let them sit in the mix. I was having trouble getting them in the mix, but after some compression, some fast compression as well. I mean, really quick attack. It helps it sit behind everything. That's one thing with compression. If you want something to poke out a little bit, you do a slower attack. If you want it to sit in a little bit, you do a faster attack. And that's just because the faster you attack a transient, the less, poking out it's going to do. Otherwise, I mean, it's kind of the same processing, just a bit of EQ. I kind of just took out some lows over here on the second guitar, and I boosted a bit in the first guitar, and I cut out some boominess here. It's not really boominess, I don't know, boxiness. And then in the sub we added some highs, and we just did some bus compression, and we put it to tape. That's pretty much it. I have it on 7.5 IPs just because I don't want too much high end getting through, but I also boosted the high end. It works. So yeah, the bass is just one THU patch. I wanted to keep it clean. It's a clean sounding bass in the song Old Friends, so it's a rather clean bass. I would even add an EQ on here and just cut out some highs. And yeah, that's everything. Cool. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you learned something. Super simple. PineGrove's awesome. Go listen to them if you haven't heard them before. Yeah, that's it. Bye.